Oh. Beloved poets, welcome to Chaos Magic. As usual, I'll give a few ground rules. We'll be having 3 to 5 minute sets. We ask but do not require that you bring one original and one cover piece. However, you could do 2 original pieces, you could do 2 cover pieces. We will appreciate whatever chaos or magic you bring here tonight. Of course, no racism, no sexism, no bullshit, no hate speech, as if that wasn't a given already. Keep it all about the love. Love is the law, love under will. Treat this space as the sanctuary for the artist that it is, and treat everyone here as sacred as this space. Now, with that said, let's start some good trouble. I posted the participation list in the group chat. That will be subject to change as we go throughout the night. But as of now, we have the following. On deck, we have Amadeus, but kicking things off here tonight, please give it up for Richard Spisak. Unmute and take it away when you are ready.
Thank you so much, sir. An honor to be in this August company, even though it is December. I have 2 pieces for you tonight. I'm going to go with 2 originals. This one is very fresh, just this morning. It's called Only One Acceptable Outcome. It's this new kind of interpretation of democracy. Only one acceptable outcome. With only one acceptable outcome, guess what? We're not surprised, but precisely understood because we're not dumb. They think they won the prize, but victory over myriad freedoms they despise. We're in this game for the long pull. We're not here to support one vainglorious fool who might traipse across the Atlantic to accept international accolades so rich and seemingly dynamic, although actually stilted, formal, and quite arthritic. But with the robes of state so ill-fitting, he'll find compensation not fulsome nor befitting. A presumptive allied leader with a need for headstrong, noisome theater, he'll be blustering on the international stage. He'll seem so petty, not the sort of global stagecraft so much more befitting a dunce, not a sage, who is typically smug or in a rage. There's no celebration or certainty in such mock militant jerkery. The monumental ego and cartoon militant strategio on parade so displayed by those he's nominated for high office. What kind of villainous offal he's tossed us. Strictly dare because they're weak and will never bring fealty to the Constitution or any fragmentary illusion of problem solving to our great noble institution, but simply further us to the cult of Trump, while sick offense he may enjoy smooching the taste of rump. Such an ill-fitting crowd as these of muggers, buggers, and thieves, as they solely focus on their causes, seemingly wholly any coffins from the coffers robbed. Yeah, that is, if the Senate gives them the job. We'll watch them try to steal the silver and sell off great chunks of liberty's liver. All the while betrayal and backbiting amongst these crimers will flourish with a rapidity, more revolutions taking up their time more than a whirling dervishes spinning confusions. Except for drama and ego flaunting, they'll appear as little more than shades, as liberty's temples daunting. They're greedy and dumb and their needs are simple. They come sneaking in simply to rob liberty's temple, gratify their endless need for self-importance, and yet these hearing liberty's call will need reinforcements after all. Pomp and circumstance and their vainglorious puffery give them enough fool's gold so they can try to engorge their pockets, grabbing all the coinage they can claim, indulging in simple stuffery. The work of freedom's ne'er complete and unlikely to be trampled beneath these dirty, scabrous, and horned feet. And then this is in the voice of Americans wanting some justice. Once again, proved in the switch. Once again, thank you, it's proved in the switch. If you're rich, you can be 47 kinds of a son of a bitch. Walk through walls no cell can keep you, through the open church door and ignore the people. Once again, all restraints go unused. Why, son, if you're rich, the sheriff will shine your shoes. It's all listed all over the places. The charges were dropped, the myriad places where the law just stopped, basically flopped. You'll be convinced of the laws on the books. There just weren't any. You shine that pretty little penny. But sadly, if you don't have any, that is, if you are cash short, the law will snort like old Jack Benny. But if you're down to your last few pennies on you, the law will drop. If you had not two coins to rub together, stop. You'll be hauled up on a million charges, or maybe accidentally some copper's gun discharges. Accidentally, of course, because it's rare, but you are a poor boy. You'll probably end up in jail. It's completely unnecessary to remind that any rich man in any court will find a special place to rest his feet on a fleet of eternity's attorneys and make it all read. Steal some secrets, corrupt elections, maybe he'll see justice or just his next connections. How he stumbled past any law form, he'd just laugh and pass it off with some tinselly, gingery, gold-plated chloroform. Steal and rob, murder for sure, then 10 minutes later he's waltzing out the door. He'll be rewarded in the end as long as he can buy enough of those judicial prejudicial friends. The law just looks away and coughs. Election interference, don't you worry that well-coiffed head. All the charges will suddenly, circumstantially be dismissed instead. Election interference, well, that's just for littles. Go ahead. Your maid just told us the prosecutor's busy frying up your favorite victuals. Investigations of your bogus college scam were dropped. They flopped by hopping prosecutors with willful knowledge. Amazing what writing kiting checks can do. Those, whether from Manhattan, Miami, or Kalamazoo. His boast he could shoot anyone on 2nd Avenue no longer seems to ring so hollow. And all that stuff you once found so hard to swallow, more like Daniel in a den of spaniels. Walk on water, steal the race, simply pathological if an occasional reporter asks a question, hey, order me up 11,780 votes because that case all washed away. But hey, it was a big flood of cash anyway. All them secrets stacked and packed by the pool at Mar-a-Largo. Any discussion of that, my friends, keep it under your hat. There's been an embargo. And New York or Georgia, find some spine or just winking, slink away like Gates in the nick of time.
Thank you for that, Richard. Everybody unmute. Show your love for Richard Spisak at this time.
Richard, I love that one.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah,
Both of them,
I-
yeah.
yeah, I couldn't keep up with that. You had that so packed full. What was that line? Tinselly, gingery, gold-plated chloroform? Where do I get some?
I'm speechless.
You obviously haven't stated Mar-a-Largo lately, have you?
Those
No,
great,
no, I'm
man.
going to avoid that as long as possible. Because I won't be asked there as a guest, that's for sure.
There's a special room for free thinkers, you know?
Yeah, out back with the national security documents or in the bathroom or wherever he throws his important stuff.
And here we have it. We are off and running. Thank you, Richard, for kicking things off tonight. We're underway with the rest of the show. And with that said, on deck, we got Paul Skiff. But stepping up to the plate now, please give it up for Amadeus. Unmute. Take it away when you are ready.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Richard, I'm speechless. I don't know how to follow that. Well, a beautiful morning, everyone from the Philippines, or as Filipinos would say, magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. It is such a privilege to perform once again here in Chaos Magic Open Mic. And with that said, I will be performing two pieces, both originals though. I hope that's okay to our host. The first one is called A Time of Reflection. Another day has come and I feel the sun's glow kissing me. Assisted by the wind as the trees dances with the sun rays. Standing on a meadow and hearing the children's laughter. Seeing them full of life, then suddenly my vision of them grew dim. What is this? What's happening? I said to myself. Then I heard a voice saying, open your eyes. As I blinked, I saw myself as the little boy playing with the children. Thinking to myself, how is this possible? And why am I seeing this? What a genuine smile. What a genuine laugh. Such pure happiness. Full of love and real harmony with others as they play. Then I heard the voice once again saying, once upon a time, this was you. But tragedy came and iniquity took over, twisting this beautiful truth as a form of weakness on your end. As I hear this, I felt a rush of emotions and I started to cry. What have I become? How far have I fallen? Was it all worth it? Long have I forgotten the feeling of being genuine without wanting anything. Accomplishments laced with a price all became meaningless. Realizing this, I came back to the proper reality. I blinked and saw the children still playing with a smile on their faces. An hour felt, but 5 minutes have only gone by. And as the sun's glow continued to kiss my face, I am thankful to have witnessed a bizarre moment. And as the trees continues to dance with the sun's rays, I am given another opportunity to better myself in the coming days. End of piece. So for the second piece, it's actually a sonnet, an original. It's an Amadisian sonnet, and it is sonnet number 4. This is something I wrote to myself. Underdog, it is time for you to grind again. Underdog, always keep your eye on the prize. You are walled by pointless distractions, so be wise. Ignore the cynics. There is power in the pen. Trust yourself, and one day these cynics will shut up. See, everyone wants a piece when you are on top. However, do not forget those who aided you. Also, do not forget those who offended you. Karma comes back. It's just a matter of when. Crooks are desperate and will believe in their lies. Leave these parasites, but I say drop and chop. Words are cheap and legitimate friends are so few. Underdog, take care of those who are genuine. Let them be your motivation to grit and win. And when you are on top, recall where you have been. End of piece. Thank you very much for listening, and thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you very much for joining us, Amadeus, and sharing your art. Everybody, please unmute and give it up for Amadeus at this time.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks for sharing that wisdom in that second piece. That was very poignant, Amadeus.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's been a while.
Well, it's always good to be able to make your return here in familiar grounds. Always great to have you, Amadeus. Thank you again for joining and sharing. With that said, we're going to keep the shindig rolling. On deck, we have Generalissimo, but stepping to the plate now, it's time to go into the Skiff verse. Please give it up for Paul Skiff at this time. Unmute, take it away when you are ready.
Okay. I'm going to start with 2 very short poems by this guy, Mike Tyler. He ran a reading at sort of one of my very first Lower East Side poetry homes at a place called the ABC No Rio. I don't know, Ngoma might recall knowing about it. It's existed back in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah. And had been dormant for almost 20 years while they finagled the building from the city, and they finally bought it for $1, but now they have to come up with like $21 million to rebuild it. Anyway, I'm going to put my screenshot here. This is a photo of what the kind of antics Mike Tyler would do as the MC of the Sunday afternoon poetry reading. And these are 2 of his poems from his website. He has a very generous website loaded with his poetry, and it's very unique, idiosyncratic work. The first one is called Dead Fish Elegy. The king is dead. The fish is dead are different phrases, but not by much. You can't scoop a potent date, a stunned blump out of smog history and drown it twice through cold spring loop-de-loop. It comes back with a mirror smile and truth teeth, swims with the kings, is not a fishy story. Every D is alphabet soap, clean, 'cause L is so dirty. Fresh memory, stale stink, clothes spins, banging loan on the line. And the next one's title is How To. The butcher's breath hot on the world. How to hold the pigs at bay. Hashtags battened down. Thundering cell phone speakers. Not a video game. War of the dogs. Peace threw up strength. The meek shall inherit the earth in their graves. So that's Mike Tyler. I'll see if I can put his website link up in case anybody wants to look into any more of his poems. Just remembering the days when he would start the reading by picking the podium up off the floor and throwing it across the room. And I guess I'll do poem here. The title of this poem is It. My mouth was taught how to shine by cosmic rays. The water's dream was opening champagne bottles in fascination's ears that stopped believing vibrations higher than patience. It relies on anonymity. The building wore its tenants like fish in the sea or a win that lays underneath the ace of diamonds. It has a separate entrance to meaning. The screen is a hospital for eyes in an emergency of darkness where open says light can fill music played by piano. A roof becomes when rain from history changed by the explanation used to justify forgotten virtues massages melody like time wind passing through a family tree. It fits thing. I have bee's eyes on my mayhem, so 1,000 versions of chaos revolve inside bewildered certainty you had before dipping attention's toe in listening thought to be like a favorite hat given to the sister who wears hand-me-down anger once used as the lens through which sunlight was focused on the fuse that ignites self-respect. It gets quiet when paid for. Sometimes its possibilities may be withholding favor for just about almost now. It dodges behind unspecificity. Waking up is pet consciousness, end of the dream lets outdoor on need for companionship, encouraging daily routine to exercise its own transformation of subconsciousness, disrupting wonder into being. It would matter to if When there is no more now, everything will happen a split nanosecond in an algorithmical future, and you will be able to smell tomorrow like a premonition there is no time to get dressed for. It, transparent, swallows the spectrum. Without anticipation, feet stick on the exact spot. Heart gave up to monotony. Each day guarantees routine, the limit of aspiration. Convinced complacency would be better than failure and lost effort. It remains mostly anonymous. Hands on waist of gorgeous surprise lift wonderful into spontaneity's occluded sky to separate ha 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 from the earth. It place holds. The misfortunes inflicted on one's own mind probably will not be overcome by trying to aestheticize the lesions that make behavior a ceremony performed by the self in an idiom of deferences that our stigmata demeanor seeks validation for, but the erratic, eloquent bursts of light, gloom, darkness, and scintillation define the self's self in a glory radiant as life's need to be. The reason you were created will not be found here. The here you were created will not be reason found. The you were created by here reason will not be found. My mouth was thrown in the utopia pool by laughing hands of a mischievous birthday. So blame a love shove for all the bliss on my lips. It relies on anonymity. It has a separate entrance to meaning. It fits thing. It dodges behind unspecificity. It, transparent, swallows the spectrum. It place holds. The reason you were created will not be found here. That's it.
Thank you so much, Paul. Everybody unmute. Show your love for Paul Skiff at this time.
I'm flabbergasted, man.
Thank you again for blessing us and this virtual stage with your words. Always a pleasure. Wow. What a night of poetry we've had so far. We're about like 1/3 through. So with that said, we're gonna keep this shindig rolling. On deck, we got Baba and Ngoma. But step him to the plate now. Please give it up for Generalissimo. Unmute and take it away when you are ready.
Gracias, Dre Reyes. These pieces are all in my book. So I'll do one at a time. Here we go. The Afterlife of a Tear. Every tear I cry tears a hole in my brain to reserve a place for a memory to reside. Sometimes certain memories decide to burrow a little further than others, so when they get remembered, they have to be triggered. Sometimes someone will commit a crime against me I forgot I had previously experienced. I see the previous perpetrator's face and the current perpetrator's face, which might make me scream loud enough to make them go deaf. There are memories we want to remember forever. There are memories not consequential enough to keep forever. Then there are memories that hide away in their burrowed holes that leave permanent residue in our souls called trauma. The next poem is called Bleeding. When I get cut, my blood flows from my skin like lava from Kilauea. Sometimes I need more than direct pressure to make it stay inside. Sometimes I breed recollections my subconscious decides it's time to say goodbye to, ones it held on to, forming grudges on the inside walls of my personality that have aged enough to naturally decay and chip away into history. Sometimes I bleed bits and pieces of my childhood I have hoarded away to create an inflatable stunt mattress to break the fall of challenges and traumas of adulthood. Sometimes my blood runs clear, forming inconsolable tears when words are not available to wrap my soul in warmth, when I've slipped and fallen into consequential hypothermia. Sometimes my blood is made of words that form when my tears and thoughts pool together into poetry. When that happens, my blood no longer belongs to me. Hold on. This is called What's in the Rear View Belongs in the Past. Do you live life as if you are driving in an infinite traffic jam surrounded by ghosts? As if you are a Ford Pinto that will explode if hit from behind, and your past is a garbage truck manned by a drunk driver. You look in the rear view. History is aggressively tailgating you, honking loudly. You switch lanes to let it pass, but it decides to hang to your left to flip you off. The odors of every lesson you learned and every mistake you've made waft their way into your psyche. You are aware this is a ghost garbage truck. You pull forward, switch lanes directly in front of it, and stop short. Its ghostly phantasma passes through your Pinto and dissipates into another universe. Your psyche decides you are no longer a Pinto, but a cross-town local bus that may not always be on time, but gets you where you need to go. And this is called How to Turn Your Home into an Indoor Amusement Park. When dizzy happens, you might sit or lie down to stop the room from spinning. But when life continues to spin out of control, everything that seems to be on a forward trajectory can act as a doorstop for everything else. Your overwhelmness becomes a tumor hidden beneath your skin no one knows about unless they touch you, but you successfully block touch by allowing unlimited Reiki while denying fingertip access with a level of deftness that has them avowing how smooth your skin is. The fog released from the breath of your words is a barrier that blocks their sense of touch from knowing it has not achieved touching. You can be as disoriented as possible while tricking the world that your life is an Olympic perfect 10 balance beam routine because the gymnast on the beam is a hired ringer with your face temporarily tattooed to theirs. Every room in your house is a different dizzying ride. Playground roundabout, spinning teacups, tilt-a-whirl, G-force astronaut training exercise. You think if you practice enough, you'll become dizzy tolerant, but when you're punch drunk dizzy more often than not, your tolerance will only be visible in the funhouse mirror you use while shaving away yesterday's bad decisions every new today in which you find yourself existing. And if I can do one more, the positive side effects of brain damage. I'm aware my brain works differently from other brains. As a child, I was diagnosed with multiple learning and motor disabilities. Motor disabilities affect how I perceive space and how fast I perform tasks. I'm deficient in hand-eye coordination, visual perception, and spatial judgment. Plus, I am blessed with a few other diagnoses with names that sound like product defects that cause wide-scale recalls. My parents were so afraid to teach me to drive, they hired a supposedly well-regarded ex-cop who was not a nice man. I guess kids with my issues were his forte. Nevertheless, I got my license. As a visual artist, my sense of perspective is warped due to my deficiencies. Picasso painted the way he painted on purpose. I paint the way I paint due to my damaged brain. In general, most of my art is non-representational and abstract. When I do choose to paint a person or a flower, What I translate onto canvas tends to look a bit funhouse mirror askew. In the kitchen, I know about recipes, but as hard as I try, I find it difficult to follow them. I don't think I can blame this on brain damage. Maybe the need to create a different sense of perspective in certain skill sets allows me to decide to draw my own lines to paint inside or outside of. As a result, I break recipes, I create different dishes because different is better. When I was a young child, a teacher noted certain skills weren't up to par. I took tests and performed tasks so my parents could label my issues that would follow me the rest of my life. As an adult, I deal with these issues by having a greater attention to detail than most other adults, which gives me permission to give myself permission to paint with a warped perspective and break recipes. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, Generalissimo. Everybody on mute and give it up for Generalissimo at this time. Right on, my dude.
I just wanted to say, Paul Skiff, that piece that you did was so wonderful. I want to do those long epic pieces too. I just don't seem to get that kind of length in.
Yeah, but when you do like 3 or 4 poems like that, they end up being like, we call it like a suite of poems, but they really, it's just a tour de force of your beautiful talents. So
You can't see me blush now, but I am.
sometimes I find myself just having to wing it on connecting things, that it's not really, about logic, or it's more like a non sequitur thing. And I've had people say, but that looks like 3 different poems. And I guess in a way it could be, but, it's all how it sits on the page in the end.
Right on. Thank you, Paul, for that. And again, thank you, Generalissimo, for sharing those bits of poetry. Much appreciated. Now we're going to be keeping this shindig rolling on deck. We got Bkxck, W.L.F. But stepping up to the plate now, please give it up for Baba and Ngoma. I'm going to take it away when you are ready.
Yeah, what's up, y'all? So I got a song and then I got a poem, okay? It's a little rock like this, huh? Come on the Mayflower, came on a good ship, Jesus. I'm a star Matilda, Henrietta Marie, chain bound and shackled, from Gory till me in a castle, copper and Manila, sugar and tobacco. You ain't paid your dues. You ain't paid your dues. You ain't paid your dues to sing my blues, to sing my blues. Stopped on Ebo Landing, try to walk on water. I'm a runaway, I'm a renegade, I'm a son of a dust daughter. You ain't paid your dues. You ain't paid your dues. You ain't paid your dues to sing my blues, to sing my blues. Dear Mark Beasley in Charleston, Nanny of the Maroons, Nat Turner and John Brown, Harriet Tubman, Freedom Bound. You ain't paid your dues. You ain't paid your dues. You ain't paid your dues to sing my blues, to sing my blues. From sun up to sundown, black babies sold by the pound, ancestors buried in hallowed ground. You ain't paid your dues. Whole world seemed like a big plantation. I'm just trying to get my reparations, cause you ain't paid your dues. You ain't paid your dues. You ain't paid your dues to sing my blues, to sing my blues. Yeah. Give me a second, I'm changing instruments. Here we go. Response to the question, what kind of music do you play? Swallow sweet sound like quinine, dog-faced blues, music junkies, a quiet taste for flattered fits, reggae skanking, bubbling bass, spunk in your face, ghost of Hendrix, defying strings, ragamuffin style, heartbeat, Nyabingi drum. Diaspora sounds, the melanin in the hands, jungle dance on concrete, unboxable improvisational freestyle, buck wild. Rhythmically challenged culture bandits can't steal this. Musicians can't chart this, it's too real for Memorex. Wave string scientists do voodoo mathematics on your ear hole. Funk so deep, Grammys can't judge stolen blues from Mali to Memphis. Cypher spinning on and on from bebop to hip hop. Eternity's too short for this rhyme in future time. Only the righteous can sing this song, sing this song. Skip to dip 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 dip. Skip skip dip up. Skip it up. Skip that up. Skip 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 up. Skip it up dip 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 dip. Bip bop. Bit up bop. Bit up bop. Put up bop. Yeah.
That's right. That's how you do. Everybody give it up for Baba and Ngoma at this time.
Thanks again for that, Baba.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you. You know, that first piece is, I could hear people play a banjo or a sort of low end production guitar all I want, and I would never make a connection to a kora, right? But the way you were playing, I mean, it was all right there. It was just like a full circle, you know, across the Atlantic and back. It just, you just have that ability that, you know, guess I don't need to tell you, it's the ancestors at your fingertips.
Yes. They are. And they really are.
Thanks again.
Thank y'all for providing the space for me to do it. Yeah.
I always appreciate when, like, when you're in between your pieces, when you have that little moment we were like giggling for them, like yeah. It's awesome to see someone enjoy themselves doing what they're doing, and it's just awesome for you to be sharing what you're doing. We're blessed to have you here. Thank you, Baba and Ngoma, for doing what you do. With that said, we're gonna keep this shindig rolling. On deck, we have Nadia, but stepping up to the plate now. Please give it up for Bkxck W.L.F. Unmute and take it away when you are ready.
Actually, I'm gonna do this. I have two pieces. The first piece is called Black Rotten, and the second piece is called In Darkness Let Me Dwell. And the second piece is actually a cover that I'm gonna slip in a cover as my second piece. And I'll tell you a little bit about the cover because it's got some history to it. But we'll start out with the first piece, Black Rotten. Here we go. And Dre might be familiar with this piece. I actually did it yesterday at the Slam Jam. And I took the advice actually and went back and rewrote it. So it's kind of edited shit. So I hope you guys can appreciate this. It's called Black Rotten. Here we go. Weird thing happened today. Can you guys hear me okay? Okay, yeah, cool. All right, here we go. Weird thing happened today. I asked myself, do I believe in God? You know what I think? I believe in the devil. Hell, I believe in the devil more than I believe in God. I believe in that voice that whispers in your ear, telling you to do the wrong thing. I believe in intranquil spirits that are pissed off, that would love nothing more than to ruin your day. And I believe in spiritual warfare and hidden dimensions housing all kinds of evil. I believe in life. There's only one thing certain, the beginning of a nightmare. Isn't it rotten how the devil dangles the chains and we decide for ourselves to put them on. Isn't it rotten how we extort ourselves for pennies? Isn't it rotten how we're all cogs in an unholy machine grinding itself into a painful extinction? And when you finally get tired and look for the light, here comes some joker bringing the darkness with him till all you see is black once again. Isn't it rotten how we do it to ourselves? Black skies, black minds, black lies. There's no light here. The only light is shards of heaven in the form of what's left of spirituality left behind from gods and saints long past. The only light is within. And that is Black Rotten. And so guess I'll go ahead and move on to the second piece. This piece is called In Darkness Let Me Dwell. And this is a cover piece that I'm covering John Dowland, who lived a little bit like toward the beginning of the modern era, kind of like, I don't remember exactly, but it's not, but very, we'll just say very old, very old. He's a lute, he plays the lute, and he was known for performing for kings and queens in England. And so but he has beautiful poem and lyrics that accompany his music. And so I'm just gonna speak on one of the lyrics and leave the lute out and just speak on the lyrics. And this piece is called In Darkness Let Me Dwell. Here we go. In darkness let me dwell, the ground shall sorrow be, the roof despair to bar all cheerful light from me. The walls of marble black that moistened still shall weep. My music, hellish jarring sounds to banish friendly sleep. Thus, wedding to my woes, embedded to my tomb. Oh, let me live and die, till death doth come, till death doth come. My dainties grief shall be, and tears my poisoned wine. My sighs the air through which my panting heart shall pine. My robes, my mind shall suit exceeding black as night. My study shall be tragic thoughts, sad fancy to delight. Pale ghost and frightful shades shall my acquaintance be. Oh, thus, my hapless joy, I hasten to thee. And that is In Darkness Let Me Dwell by John Dowland.
Everybody at this time, please give it up for Black Sxlt, W.L.F. Right on, my dude. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, original piece and for that cover. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I believe in spiritual warfare. I think my spirit made itself known to me primarily in the beginning because it had to go to warfare.
It's real. I mean, I believe, I mean, you either believe or you don't, or you're somewhere in between, but I believe, and so that's why I wrote that.
Yeah, I definitely, feel it, I'm down with you on that, it's like, I feel it, I know it, it animates me, so it
Right.
gives
And
me all.
the point is like some of it's out of our control. We
Yeah,
think we have control, like, oh, I'm doing this, oh, they're doing this, but no, some of it really is out of our control, and there are things that we can do, but those things are like spiritual things, not necessarily like filling out a resume or something, you know what I mean? It's
yeah,
kind of
for
like
sure.
a different mindset that you have to have when you approach, spiritual warfare,
Yeah, it's something you have to feel. You can't understand it. Like you said, it's not an intellectual understanding. It's a thing you feel.
intuitive,
Yeah,
Kind
cool.
I believe you, man. I have a friend right now who's under spiritual attack, actually. And
I'm sorry to hear
and
that.
she, yeah, so he and she, both of them have been getting spiritual attacks every night. Like her wife would be possessed or something. So right now they're working on a deliverance. So I understand what I actually felt when you said that spiritual warfare is real because I've witnessed it with my own eyes. So yeah, I know it's true.
That just kind of echoes the power of one's poetry, how it can just resonates differently and impact people in different ways. So that was pretty cool there in a way.
Damn
How your
straight.
how your work was able to connect there. So right on and keep writing, Black Salts. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you for that
For
piece.
listening. No place I'd rather be.
And we thank you, and we thank everybody here in this Zoom room, sharing the space, sharing pieces of yourself here tonight on Chaos Magic. We appreciate you here. With that said, we got about, from looks of it, 3 more poets on tonight's list. So without further ado, we're going to continue on with the shindig. On deck, we got Parquillian, but stepping up to the plate now, please give it up for Nadia. Nadia, unmute and take it away when you are ready.
Hi, thank you. I'm going to do a cover by Rupi Kaur and an original piece tonight. Okay, so I'll start with the cover. Rise, said the moon, and the new day came. The show must go on, said the sun. Life does not stop for anybody. It drags you by the legs. Whether you want to move forward or not, that is the gift. Life will force you to forget how you long for them. Your skin will shed till there is not a single part of you left they've touched. Your eyes finally just your eyes, not the eyes which held them. You will make it to the end of what is only the beginning. Go on, open the door to the rest of it. Time. Oh. And so that was the cover by Rupi Kaur. And then the original that I created today is called Transplanted. A seed can grow in countless ways, taking root beneath winter's frosted haze, sprouting in the bitter cold's embrace, a beacon of light shining in a dark place. The world is not always gentle or kind. Some paths leave heavy burdens behind, like a mother torn by choices unseen, giving her child away to what might have been. A seedling uprooted seeks a new start, planted where love feels distant, apart. Without a gardener's guiding hand, it searches for home in foreign land. Replanted once more in unfamiliar ground, an empty space where love isn't found. Deprived of sunlight, it struggles to rise, reaching for warmth under shadowed skies. But even in darkness, a sunflower turns, facing the light for which it yearns. A tiny bird with no nest to stay, still still finds solace in the sun's golden ray. Again, the seedling is moved to new soil, a delicate rosebud nurtured through toil. With tender care, it begins to bloom, battle scars softened, making room. A desert garden, a sacred retreat, where beings gather, hearts gently meet. Divine love flows in its many forms, healing the wounds of life's harsh storms. The heart sheds thorns, layer by layer, releasing pain it once chose to bear. Decay gives way to vibrant growth, petal by petal, it renews its oath. Each season gifts its lessons and trials through transplanted soil and endless miles. The universe provides abundance untold, where roots grow strong and stories untold. Oh,
Everybody unmute. Please give it up for Nadia at this time.
Nice, Nadia.
Simple but beautiful. Yeah, it
Mhm.
was simple but beautiful.
I just like the progression of images. You kind of grew that poem like a seed itself. It
Yeah,
was really
right.
wonderful.
yes, I love that you caught that. That's exactly what I was going for. That's how it
Yeah.
felt. I was honestly, I'm describing my journey as an adoptee.
Oh,
So I'm the seed. I'm the flower in the poem.
wow. Wow.
Yeah, you could hear the
Super.
poem evolve. It evolved.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
Wow.
it's
felt personal.
yeah. This is a piece of my heart, my healing.
Hmm. You know, so much of your poetry conveys that purposefulness.
You call me?
That was well, beautifully said. And damn it, we appreciate you, Nadia, and your work. Please keep doing what you're doing. And it's great to have you here tonight. Again, great to have you and everybody else here in this Zoom room as we are just two poets away from concluding yet another episode of Chaos Magic. But at this time, I just want to give everybody a quick heads up that in this very Zoom room, as you may be aware, we have other shows going on throughout the week. This Friday, we're going to be having another edition of Open Minds, Open Mic. We're going to be having Mark Lipman as our special guest feature. So we're gonna be expecting at least a half hour from the United States National Beat Poet Laureate. It's gonna be awesome. And following that, here in the Zoom room, we'll be having the Slam Jam, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, open mic action sprinkled with some slam workshop action. And we're going to be having Truality the Poet as our special guest coach. Also, I just want to give everybody a quick heads up that next Monday will be the 1 year anniversary of Chaos Magic. So it'll be nice to be able to see all y'all here next week and be able to share, hold space, and celebrate 1 year of having this platform. So, with that said, I see that we just have someone joining us right now. Welcome, Avotcja, to Chaos Magic. If you would like to participate in tonight's action, the list has not closed yet. In fact, before you joined, there were just going to be 2 more poets, but you are more than welcome to participate in tonight's action. So let me know if you would like to participate. If anything, we could have you close out tonight's action just to give you some time to settle in if you would like to. With that said, on deck is yours truly. But step up to the plate now. Please give it up for Parquillian. Unmute and take it away when you are ready.
All right. Thank you so much, Dre, and everybody in the room here tonight. So this is a poem by Aaron Lalux called Timelines. Keep scrolling through iTunes, can't seem to find anything to download, even though I can download any song that I want to. Keep scrolling through my timeline, Facebook lines and Instagram posts, and I can't seem to find anything of interest, which doesn't make sense since I love everyone. Got everything we want, but nothing that we need, traded in our dreams for some fantasies on a screen. Here, forget you used to be free, have a seat and take this TV. It's amazing how we make miracles seem so easy. It's like these machines gave us everything we ever wanted without giving us anything. we ever needed. And it's strange because I've won every battle, but I still feel defeated. It's like I'm sitting around alone with all these toys around me, feeling like a prince without a kingdom, or a king without a throne, or a princess without a wish list in her queendom, with a magnificent house that's missing a home. Are you missing your home, that home you never had? Are you missing that feeling you can't quite grab? And that's exactly why you keep scrolling through iTunes. And that's exactly why I keep scrolling through iTunes. We're both missing the same thing and searching in vain. It's eerily ironic how we can feel so alone in the same room. And I feel your pain because I feel my pain. Pardon me, maybe I'm confused. Maybe we wanted to get attention instead of getting used. And there's so much more I want to mention. But then again, I guess what's the use? Why start something that's only definite in an ending? But I'm your friend, so if you want to begin, it's up to you. I'm willing to relax. I'll answer all your questions. Let's trade facts, truth or dare, until we express all our intentions. In the pursuit of passions, listening to intuitions, remembering what it was to be human before we gave in and gave them our emotions. I swear something doesn't feel right, like most of these humans are just programs who look like they are moving with intention, but are really just going through the motions. Keep scrolling through iTunes, can't seem to find anything to download, even though I can download any song I want to. And that reminded me of this poem that I wrote a little more than a year ago on the Great White North workshop, and recently workshopped to clean it up a little bit, and came up with a title called Moon Scrolling. Staying up late, just scrolling through my phone. It's too late to learn a new phonetic tone. Staying up late, just scrolling through my phone. Why do I want to hear this singer cry and moan? Staying up late, just scrolling through my phone. Hey, there's another meme from the Twilight Zone. Staying up late, just scrolling through my phone. Do I really need to know about this actor's gallstone? Staying up late, just scrolling through my phone. Now they're saying soon they'll be falling off their throne. Staying up late, just scrolling through my phone. Do I just do it so I don't feel so alone? Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you very much. Everybody, please unmute and give it up for Parquillian at this time. All right, my dude. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, that first poem,
Yeah.
should be available on iTunes. It was just a great explanation of that feeling everybody has when they're, going through content lists and not really ever deciding to listen or watch any of it. It's all about just the endless scroll to nowhere.
Oh, I've got over 100 playlists that I never listen to anymore because I just curated them and never go back to them.
The rabbit hole is real.
Yeah. Yeah, so
And
thanks.
I do appreciate how you're able to illustrate that with your words. Thank you very much. With that said, we got 2 more poets lined up for tonight. Again, thank you all for joining us here on Chaos Magic here in the Zoom room. On deck, we got Avotcja, but step into the plate now. Please give it up for your host. Hey, y'all. So, I got 2 pieces, 2 original pieces. 2 pieces I don't really read that often, but I figured why not? So, semi-new shit for y'all maybe. Here's a poem I wrote last year called Empathy for the Next Generation. They say that Harlem is Hell's Kitchen, but Spanish Harlem has a certain spice. Like adobo on chicken and sazon in Spanish rice, this kitchen is bitchin' with real street flavor. You'll see it in the faces of youth as they savor the cultural shade in this lovely canopy in this concrete jungle where the white-collar poacher is king. Youth manifests itself into promising future, learning through life's trail of trial and error, carrying on their bloodline and heritage, like a generational passing of the torch. May their run with the flame be a mightier one than mine. May their run with the flame be an enlightening one, lighting up a path towards a bright future. When it is time to pass the torch to the next generation, they would be tenfold prepared for this world than any generation prior. When you want your child to have a better life than yours, when you want your child to live in a better world than you grew up in, when you want your child to never regret being put on this earth. If more people had more empathy towards the future inhabitants of this planet, perhaps we can be more mindful of generational trauma. Right, Dad? Poem. So there's that piece. And here's another piece here. Just I don't know. Just talking about my uncomfortability in living in New Hampshire. So this is I Don't Belong in New Hampshire. I don't belong to a state that has always treated me differently from birth to today. I don't belong to live in a state that placed me in a special reading group in elementary school because I lived in a home with Spanish-speaking parents. I guess if you're brown, you don't speak English in their eyes. I don't belong to a state that allows under-the-table corruption to ruin my chance of becoming student council president in high school. I don't belong to a state that denied my deceased best friend his graduation diploma, despite having paperwork that proved his intents to graduate. I don't belong to a state that allows their employer to write me up for something I didn't say, but more so for the way I looked, a victim of not having the complexion for the protection. I don't belong to a state that gave all their electoral votes to Hillary Clinton when Bernie Sanders soundly defeated her in 2016 and still demand the first in the nation presidential primary election. I don't belong to a state who allowed Bob Baines and others to rid the state of higher educational art schools and institutions. I don't belong to a state that doesn't care about fairness, art, mental health, and homelessness. I don't belong to a state that allows police to send 2 canine units in attempts to sniff out drugs several times, only to find absolutely nothing in a Latino man's car outside my window. I don't belong to a state that simply doesn't give a fuck about me and my well-being. I don't belong to a state where I am guilty without trial. I don't belong to a state that has never felt like home. Poem. Thank y'all. Yeah, so there's that. Whew.
Yeah, talk about spiritual warfare.
Mm.
That employment episode reminded of one I went through. I got fired once when I was a teenager from I think the first job I ever tried to get in a Penny's department store, shoe department. The guy fired me because I had a hickey on my neck. And the next day I got a call from the president of personnel at Penny's telling me I could have any job I wanted because I'd been fired in a discriminatory manner.
Wow. That's crazy. Okay,
But
fired
it's
over
just that thing
hickey.
about, you're just a target for somebody because of how you are or the way you look or the way you behave. And it, doesn't fit with their super narrow definition of what's acceptable for them.
Yeah. This is America. Well, at least this is New Hampshire. Uh enough of that though. I do appreciate y'all being able to hold space and allow me to spit those pieces, but we do have one more poet left here tonight from the looks of it. And at this time, I want everybody to unmute and please give it up for Avotcja at this time. Avotcja, when you are ready, please unmute. Take it away when you are ready.
I'm so sorry I got here late, but what can I say? You can blame it on poetry. I was writing something and the muse said, you're going to continue what you're doing. And also, Dre, I want to know if you want to be one of our features on our poetry series at the end of the month. I'll put it in the chat in a minute and I'll get hold of you on Facebook. Anyway, I got two for you from my book, With Every Step I Take, number 2. This is one for the street children. I'm a musician. I get home late and there's all these kids, I mean, little tiny kids in the streets, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and they're hungry and dangerous. And where I was living, I was very afraid because I'm about 2 years older than dirt that they were going to knock me upside my head to steal my instrument. So I wrote them a love poem. Well, much to my surprise, these kids are very well organized and it wound up in all the street newspapers and kids were doing it all over the place. And I got off the BART, which is like our subway out here. And this little chubby Chinese girl ran and threw her arms around me and called me grandma. And I thought she was crazy until I realized that she was more than that. She was a messenger. And she told me that something I had forgotten. She says, you know, nobody ever speaks to us. Thank you. And it reminded me that these are children, little children, and that most of us adults have lost our minds and forgotten that. And it's about time we start talking to these children. So I wrote this poem for them. It's in Spanglish. This young girl, this little Chinese kid, memorized the whole thing. It's in English, Spanglish, and Spanish. She knew the whole thing. I wrote it. I haven't never memorized it. But anyway, so it goes like this. Long story short poem. It's not that short. It's called Street Children of the Night, para los chiquititos de la noche en cualquier lugar. Black and brown children of the night que ya no saben nada de jugar, mi niñito de la calle. Queridos morenitos whose ideas having fun got swallowed by the darkness. If I could, I would wrap you in sunshine. I would hold you close and fold you in these arms and caress whatever's left of the child in you with lullabies. I would like to cover every interview with home-cooked self-esteem and deseos vacantes. I want to fill the hole that hurt dug. Take my hand and I swim defiantly through the fires of hell for you and with you through the mugre of disrespect. I'm a hard-headed kind of lady and I just can't see myself giving up on you. Somos lo que somos, you and I, para nosotros, somos todo lo que hay, been fused together by history. Por lo bonito y los sueños robados, locked spiritually in the maze of our destiny. Oye, mis negritos, mis pequeños callejeros, los necesito. The truth is, I know I need you, y yo sin ti soy nada. And if I had a chance, I'd refuse to turn you loose till you were so in love with yourself that self-destruction would disintegrate under the pressure of your presence. And you were so secure in my love for you, and so sure of the splendor you had become that even the sun would lay aside its arrogance just to get a chance to reflect the brilliance of your essence and bask in the bold truth of your integrity. En ti, vive la verdad real, y yo sin ti no existe ni un sendero de la esperanza, o sé que me see you, my beautiful wild lotus flowers. If I could, I'd bathe you in a sea of rose water. I'd convert your waves of pain into an ocean of pride and faith. Yo te pido, dame un chance. Please, please, please let me in. I promise to do the very best I can, even if I have to wake the dead and conjure up our ancestors' breath. I'm not too proud to act a fool, get down on my knees and holler and scream and beg all the spirits of goodness to intervene, to blow away the fog of dismay and distrust, pasante pecado lágrimas, and dissipate the rage burning behind your eyes, so together we could wash away the centuries of emasculating doubt, defeminizing lies, and then have a little fun and learn to play a brand new game called Demolishing Walls of Self-Hate. Children of the night, mis niñitos de la calle, I want the stubbornness of my love to help you twiddle all the lights inside your soul. Tú eres mi sangre. I will not allow the streets of any city to steal you. You like a lotus blossoming in the night, mis queriditas alma de existencia. I will not let the cesspool of Fulinga make a fast food happy meal of your dreams. Chiquito de la esquina, you are our only wealth.
You are the most beautiful part of me, and I'm not about to let you go. I will not permit the hungry stupidity or greed to feed you to the streets without putting up a fight. Amorcito pedir de la noche, if I could, I would pave your path with sawdust and massage your mind with a steady diet of just how important you are. Make sure you know you're too damn important to let the world just throw you away. It's my job on a daily basis to remind you that this crazy old lady is here to stay. I'm still here. I say, I'm still here staying and praying and praying and staying and praying and praying and praying and praying. You let me in, mi cerito negritito de la noche. I'm talking to you. Can you even hear me? It's all tomorrows that you're throwing away. Queridos niñitos de la calle, I'm still waiting. A stubborn old lady with a heart full of love, standing in shadows and waiting on who you could be, waiting for you to finally see me, waiting to wrap you in a blanket of sunshine. I can stop there. I can do another short one. It's up to you. Tell me what to do. Do it? Okay. And that same subject is called I'm Waiting. And this is definitely dedicated to those children. I watch. I say I watch sadly as beautiful little babies of color are transformed and forced to transform and transform and transform into merciless street monsters just to conform to a perverse, unrealistic standard that neither can see them or appreciate their beauty and won't even admit they exist. Till these pissed off kids get sick of being ignored and explode and burn down the tree that we're all sitting on. I watch. I say I watch sadly, painfully, my heart bleeding a hemorrhage of imposed frustration. The water of these eyes, my only sacrament, I pray one day. I say I pray one day they'll feel my tears enough to taste the unnecessary devastation and realize I still see all those beautiful little babies. All those beautiful little babies, all those forgotten little babies, those sweet, cute, affectionate, tiny babies, hidden behind the cold boldness of their mass. My arms are open, waiting for our children to come home. Anyway, for my book, With Every Step I Take Two, I'll put my website up here, and Dre, I'll get in touch with you on Facebook about my poetry series, but I hope you can be one of the people.
Well, first of all, I appreciate your poetry here tonight. So everybody, please, at this time, unmute. Give it up for Avotcja at this time.
Yeah, that's phenomenal that the young girl would commit to memory that whole first poem. That's a tribute and a half.
That's crazy.
One of the greatest compliments I've ever gotten in my life. And a little Chinese girl, she's speaking Spanglish and Spanish better than most of us.
That's impressive. Wow. But to respond quickly to that feature offer, I would be interested. I just need to know just a bit more details, what day of the week, and I'll try my best to accommodate and make this happen.
It's the fourth Saturday of the month, you folks, and it's multilingual. We've had over 20 different languages, and we have 4 features and 10 open mics. And if you want to be one of them, be there early. And Rick is also one of the features on that date. So,
what time of the day?
From 3 to 5 in the afternoon Pacific time. So you're back where, on the East Coast?
Yeah, I'd have a show that goes from 5 to 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturdays. But
so let's see, 5. So that would be from 2. So that if you did it, you'd have to be one of the first ones to leave. Think about it. Let me know.
Yeah, yes, just send me the details on that, and I'll figure out a way to try to make that work one way or another, because I like to be able to share a space with a new crowd and to be able to experience new artwork if I can. I like to be able to do that, definitely. I appreciate that offer. That's really awesome and a bit humbling. And I say it is a bit humbling to be able to share space with a bunch of all y'all wonderful creatives here tonight. This has been yet another awesome edition of Chaos Magic, and I just want to remind everybody in the Zoom room next week will be 1 year of Chaos Magic. So please bring yourselves, bring some people that you would like to invite here into the Zoom room, because we want to have a nice big gathering, nice fun celebration of 1 year of Chaos Magic. Appreciate this space and appreciate all of you, and I hope to see y'all in the foreseeable future. Again, we got shows on Friday and Saturday in the Zoom room. Check us out on Instagram under Open Minds Open Mic for more details. But that concludes another episode of Chaos Magic. Again, this would not be possible without all y'all here tonight. So thank you for making tonight for what it was. Until next time, everybody, please keep writing and please keep loving. Peace and love to y'all, and have a great night.
Stay safe, everybody. Thank you for your
Thank
beautiful
you. Thanks.